I figured out what I did wrong, guys. My bad. I just muted the stream mix in my hang on. Okay. We should be good now. Okay. How's everybody doing? You'll be here for another 5 hours? Okay, can you guys hear me now? My apologies. That was a whoopsie. Okay. Alright. I just want to verify one more time. Can everybody hear me? Everybody good? Ooh. The YouTube's so far behind. I think. No, it's not. I'm just crazy. Okay, you can hear me. Good, good, good. I just had to verify. Alright, I think... Okay, well, let me re-say everything I just said, but obviously you couldn't hear me. So, I want to finish my video interface. And what I need is for this data, which right now it's an EEPROM. It's not anything special, but it needs to be RAM in the future. That's no problem to integrate. But for like testing purposes, I'm gonna make it an EEPROM. So what I need is for my EEPROM's data to show up on the monitor that's over here. I can obviously move the camera to show it whenever it's ready. But right now, we're not even focusing on that. What we're focusing on is getting this just to work now, because it's not even wired up properly. So, in order to do that, I need to make, I don't know. Last time, it wasn't really doing anything. It's, I guess I'll describe what's going on right now. Basically, this should be self-explanatory. This is just my data bus. I just connect my RAM inputs over here. And then over here, this is my data shift register. And basically this very last pin right here, that's my output. And that's going to go to my screen. So basically I'm converting 16 bits, serializing it to become 1 bit. So every 16 bits is 1 bit on the screen. Sorry, every 16 bits is 16 pixels on the screen on the horizontal. So every address can control 16 bits because it's going to be monochromatic. But anywho, how I'm doing that, instead of using a multiplexer, because I've just read lots of things on how that's kind of slow, what I'm doing instead is taking this, putting this data onto the data bus, and then loading all the values into the shift register, and then with every clock pulse, this is just read, like so. Every clock pulse, it just shifts everything down 1, so it's taking the 16 bits, shifting it down. And that's it. The only problem I think I'm encountering is the fact that all of this data might actually be backwards. And it's actually not that big of a problem if this is just wired backwards. So if I just connect this backwards, that would probably be fine. But, yeah. So, basically, if I have this in as 1010, blah, 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 it will go 0101. Oh. I didn't think about that. Hang on. Sorry, I wasn't really looking so much at the chat. Hello? I mean, my microphone, it's only the background noise. I pretty much just turned off my noise gates and my equalizer and stuff like that to be able to hear. But if it's the music that's like out of balance, then I can just up the music a little bit. If that's the problem. If it's too loud, I mean, just let me know. But you were sick? Is that what I'm reading from the chat? That's not good. Okay, so now we have this. That's where it leaves us. So VSync, HSync perfectly works fine. The other thing I wanted to do was talk about this, because the majority of you know what this is if you've been watching my videos for quite some time. But basically, I don't think this is giving me enough power anymore. It's good 5 volts. I don't even know how many amps this gives out. But basically what I've encountered is that if I connect it here, right? Connect it here, these connect here. Because this is running and using a lot of it's using a lot of energy, let's be honest, electricity. It's using a lot of, there's a lot of energy that's going into this, basically, because it's running at such a high hertz, it has to be stable. I need a power capacitors now, so it has to kind of have this, I don't even know what words I'm thinking of. But anyway, it kind of, I think there's some points whenever it draws too much power, like every 60 frame, every few seconds, I think the circuit tries to draw too much power. Maybe it ends up using a capacitor, then the capacitor needs to draw energy, and then it just comes into a big problem. So what I do have is this guy. Okay? I bought a power supply. This is going to be the power supply that powers my whole computer, but I'm a little bit hesitant to use it right now because I'm a little scared, if I'm being honest. I don't want to make something dangerous for myself or anything. And I'll explain why I'm kind of scared. Because first of all, it is 5 volts, so that's good. It's a 5 volts, but it's 16 amps. So I'm a little worried that I might short something and I'll have to replace all my ICs, or I might cause a fire or something. I'm not too good at the whole electricity value things. So if you guys think 16 amps is fine, feeding into a breadboard, then I'll be somewhat okay. But I wish I was able to adjust the amperage with this thing. I can adjust the voltage. That's about it. Anyway, so yeah, it's 5 volts, so that's good. 18 amps. I want to, but this is just so much cheaper. And also, my idea, I don't know if this would really work because I'm not the best, but if I connect, obviously these are your VCC and ground and all that. So I was thinking that with my whole computer, if I just gave every breadboard its own power pin, its own positive and negative. So positive, negative here, positive, negative here, positive, negative here, and then maybe on the other side, positive, negative, blah blah blah. Every breadboard. I know there's 2 power lines or power rails, but basically I would just make sure that every breadboard got one of the positive and negative rails. Yeah, that's $50 I don't have right now. Sort of. I mean, I do, but I don't. It's I'm saving up my sponsorship cash for something a little bit more important that I need more immediately. And I'm trying to make sure that everything's separate. But so you also think the 18 amps is too much? I need a higher amperage because I think that's what's wrong with this. Is obviously the voltage is fine. The amps is the problem because it's probably only shooting out 2 amps or something. Guess I can measure it. Yeah, that's what I thought. 18 amps is enough to probably catch this thing on fire is my guess. I don't want to burn anything. Yeah, I know it's a whole power supply for a whole computer. I just don't know. How'd you even see the 90 watts? I don't even see where that's at right now. I knew it was 90 watts. Oh, duh. Never mind. I don't know why I said that. So, regardless. See, that's so crazy. I don't know. Yeah, I figured that. I'm stupid. I realized that a second ago. Uh, what am I thinking? There was something. What did I have? Oh. Yeah, I was wanting to test this. I wanted to see how many amps I have, because I call me stupid. But I wanted to see how many amps this guy gave out. And he might be in microamps or what, milliamps. Why did I say microamps? Fuses. Fuses even without this guy. Even without this, you want me to add fuses? I was told, or I was reading, I wasn't told anything. I was reading online about, because I was like, I don't trust this to not destroy my circuit. And I was just doing a lot of research on like what I could potentially do, and everybody was saying fuses. They were saying fuses and a Zener diode, making sure that there was nothing too crazy there. Yeah, I just think everything's not strong enough. Maybe, I don't know what I'm gonna say. I just know. Maybe it's the fact that it's coming through a USB. Okay. So yeah, I want to make sure this is still 5 volts, because I'm a little worried, because before it had became a problem. Yeah, that's still 5 volts. I mean, 4.9, same thing, basically. Not that important for this circuit. Yeah, that's AC though. Oh, this thing probably doesn't read. Wait. Oh, there we go. I'm sorry. I never used the amps function on this one before. Okay, my guess, we're gonna be in this range. Oh, sheesh. Oh, we're in AC. Something's not right. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow. What's going on? Long time no stream. What do you mean I can't measure amps without a proper load? I think it's perfectly fine. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, though. It almost looks like this got too hot at some point. I don't know. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. So, I think this is too much. I can add a fuse. I just don't have any. Yeah. See, I don't know that. I've never tried to measure amps before. Okay. Anyway, whatever. Whoa. So, my point being, I think this guy's not powerful enough to run those. Okay. I mean, it's just because whenever I connect, if I have, so I have like one capacitor, maybe it's just too much. Maybe this is too much of a capacitor, because that's probably a little unreasonable to have a 100 microfarad capacitor in such an... Where did all my capacitors go? Here they are. Yeah. So that's... Should probably go with the other ones. But I don't know. I had 100 microfarad here, and then I had another one down here. And then I just noticed that if I add 2, my board's not getting enough electricity. Maybe the 100 microfarad's too much, and I should add the what are these? These are only 1 microfarad. I don't know. I guess they could suffice. If you explain it to me, I can tell you. I haven't really, I don't really know how to do that. How long it takes the capacitor to charge. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, here's the big problem with me, right? And it's the fact that I'm a software engineer with no computer science engineering background, or electrical engineering for that fact. I dabbled with a little bit of robotics, but I don't really know what decoupling capacitors or filter capacitors are. And I didn't even look it up. So this is probably embarrassing to even say that. But I didn't look it up. So I don't really know. And that's the problem. I probably should have just looked that up a few seconds ago. Before I started the stream. But I don't know which ones I'd probably need to use in this circuit. So that's something I was going to research, and then I got busy. At least I know I've heard of them. Yeah, decoupling capacitors and filter capacitors. I know I need one of those things in this circuit. I just need to Google them or something, because I have no clue how or necessarily what they mean. So, with that being said, yes. I think that's the one I need. Hang on. I want a decoupling one. Okay, I'll show you guys. This is going to be really horrible. I have this one. So what I have loaded into this, something's a little weird with this. There's that. Here's that. And maybe it's the USB cable I'm using too. That could also be a problem. But I just worry that my power supply is not feasible. Okay. But I have to look up the data sheet for this really quick. Images. There we are. Okay, so input 0. Wait. Ground 210. And I think, yes, 0's got to be all the way back here. Ugh, I'm going to have to look up the data sheet for this just in case. No, I don't think so. No, I think I get this. So, hello. Yeah, so I'll just have to hook this up, then I can show you the VGA output. But basically, these are way too long. I don't know why I'm using the long ones for this. No, actually. Guess I needed the long one anyway. Okay. Yeah, if I do not use a capacitor, my circuit's not good. I just am unsure. I feel like my something's a little odd. Okay. And then data sheet 3. Can the 7 here connect easily here? Yes, it can. Okay. That shouldn't be a problem. Oh, right. I remember why this whole thing's all weird. 7. I might not have a long enough wire for this. What about this? Yeah, that's what I was worrying about, is because whenever I do add extra capacitors on the power rail, it doesn't like that. It powers off. It will not, it does not have enough current or something. Yeah, I'll show you guys in a moment. I just need to get this placed somehow magically. There we go. Okay, should all be good there. Yeah, it's like I had one down here, and I have to have one over here as well. Place this. I cannot see. Okay, I'll place one here. I don't even know if there's any strategy to placing the capacitors. I just kind of place them in anywhere that I see is open. Like that. Like 2 capacitors there. And then... Okay. That should be good. And then I need to connect all of these to ground. And I don't know... I assume these kind of give me some noise problem. That's definitely a possibility. But I use them anyway. Okay. So I'm just gonna connect these here. Oh goodness. But like there's so many chips. So that's my only concern. It's like, how many capacitors do you normally use? Is my concern. Because there's so many chips on every single board, I'm using so many. I guess I can add a few more. Hello, Sleepy Mushroom. How are you doing? 1 per chip is normal. That's so expensive. I'm just gonna go where I find is quite important, I guess. And I'm going to say, like, these ones, maybe? I'm trying to remember what each thing is. That's what I was saying. So it's like, I think, I don't know. That's why I ended up purchasing this big guy forever ago when I was doing research. And then I didn't realize how many amps this is. And that's whenever I came into my problem, because this is 18 amps. And I don't have fuses or anything, so... but this guy would definitely provide enough current. But I just don't know... But I was going around. That's probably way too many. But I don't know. Okay. And then we move on to this other side. 13, 8, 9, and 11. Okay. Okay. Here is what it looks like on the screen. Ignore my sloppy, messy desk. I have to arrange things a tiny bit really quick. I mean, you can kind of see what it looked like in the video as well. My video I just posted. Okay. Yeah, this is working. Maybe. There. Now, if we focus on everything else that just this, right? Focus. I have to plug it into VGA. Go. See? It's I haven't turned the circuit on yet. Okay, 3, 2, 1, on. Okay. I think there's too many capacitors. Perhaps. Let's try this again. Oh, okay. We just had something there for a moment. Come on. I don't understand why the green. Well. Hey, that's awesome. Sorry, Sleepy Mushroom. I was trying to read your comment. That's awesome. I'm glad you found videos helpful. Find that a lot of things can be difficult these days. And I'm honestly, if it helps, I'm learning everything pretty much on my own. So hopefully that helps you motivate. There's not anything or anywhere I've been able to learn everything now. Like, wherever I can find something. Website. Where? So back here. Yeah, so my screen is wanting to display. But yeah, I think as you can tell, it keeps flashing. What did I do last? I had 100 microfarad on. Oh, I just had 2 bags. Where's the other bag? Right here. I'm gonna go back to having 100 microfarad capacitor. Here. I think I have one more down here by the Now we have a little bit of a more stable video, but it still doesn't like to show the data. Oh, I know what I did last time. That. Hello. Welcome to the chat. Gosh. So, I'm working. Hang on. I'm going to try and read, make sure my voltages are clear across everywhere. go. That's pretty much fine. That's fine. That's 5. Here. Pretty much 5. Yeah, so oddly enough, the power rails are actually all 4.8. I think they're fine. That's what I don't understand. It looks fine. I mean, I put this. Something's weird. Yeah, so I measured every point on my power rail, and it looks fine. So, I mean, if we look right now, the screen's still at the exact same spot. I don't change anything. Just my camera a little. Okay. Here for now. Okay. Hopefully we can read the power or the voltmeter decently. Right here. Nope, that's not. See, that's good. Need to prop it up. There. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see. Now, if I measure at this corner, there we go. 4.88. Probably be easier if I something that I have a black. I'm gonna connect that thing a little bit easier, and I'm going to connect these guys. Now, black into there. 4.88 volts in this bottom right corner. Then up here, 4.87. Here, 4.89. 4.89. This shouldn't be any different. 4.89, and of course, go up here, right corner. So, I think everything's fine with the voltage, which I'm kind of shocked about. So I actually thought that was, don't know. I wonder if I have a wire somewhere that's not happy, or maybe the fact that I'm using I have a breadboard pin that's like bent out. I don't understand why it's not showing a video. Maybe it's this guy. Oh, guess it was that guy. So look, I literally have a capacitor right here, and then now I took it out, and I have some green showing up on the. Oh, I don't understand. Oh, my bad. My bad. I moved my mic out of the way. I completely forgot. Okay. I'm so sorry. So that is reading something off of my RAM chip, I think. Because if I... What was that? No, that was so trippy. Okay. Huh. I'm really not messing with anything right now. My hands are right here. And it's doing this. So I don't have a scope, unfortunately. Can we go back to plain colors? Yeah. So here, this is what. So whenever I'll just show you guys. I'm pressing it right here, and that's causing. So right now, whenever I don't touch anything, that's what happens. It's like these little weird lines. If I press down on the board in this spot, I get. Hang on. Okay, that's too much, I guess. Okay, I get this. I'm trying to understand. Huh. You know what? That looks a lot like the data that I originally had. Yeah, I might have to do that. Okay. So what I have programmed, and I'm just going to send this, it should be reading this. And then it's something along the lines of this, whatever I just sent in chat, this is what the screen should display on every like 16 pixels. It should show like a big gap of lines, and then it should go 1 1 1 1 1 0 0 1, and then it should go another huge gap of pixels. So like it should look fairly symmetrical. Yeah, that's what I don't know. I'm gonna try resetting the cables first. I think that's easier than looking through the logic, just like to do right away, you know. So I'm gonna set this back up. Okay, we're gonna unplug that. I'm gonna turn that monitor back off. Whoops, I just flung a capacitor somewhere. And I'm gonna plug my phone in so it does not die. Okay. I wish I had a really good camera to record all this, because I don't have... Man, I just had 2 capacitors in my seat. I don't know where they went. Keep doing this, man, where I keep like dropping capacitors in places and then I lose them forever. Guess I'll have to do. Anyway, so let's reseat all of these, I guess. So I don't think these are a problem. But yeah, often whenever I would have my, what do you want to say? Sorry, I'm trying to do that. Okay. So whenever I would just get the basic, whatever you want to call it, whenever I would like put a color on the screen would still turn off sometimes, like something was a little unstable. And I don't know. Anyway, okay, let me get the data sheet out for these just so I make sure I don't like mess something up. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. 74 165s. Okay. Whoops. Data sheet. Okay. Wait a minute. What's that again? Oh, that's an OR gate. Huh. I wonder if that could be messing with my logic too. I never technically stated whether or not it was loading or shifting. I don't have that pin grounded, or so it could be like floating a little bit in one direction. So positive is shift, negative is load. So maybe if I give it a shift, hang on. Never thought about that. My logic may not be complete, actually. Oh, yes it is. That's what that is. I don't know. Anyway. So, let's go ahead and kind of redo all these little cables. I'm gonna get out my pliers. Yeah, because whenever I was pressing right here, that was causing my shift to... Yeah, well, it was floating. I mean, it needs to be high anyway. So that wouldn't have messed too much up, but it needed to... For it to have the correct data, it needed to go between a high and a low at a certain point, but I realized I have an OR chip, and that's feeding the output, so it should be doing everything correctly. Wonder if this could be causing issues too. This wire being like that could possibly. But whenever I was pressing right here, that was causing some weird... It actually kind of looked like it was giving me the correct response. So that's a little weird. I remembered not really enjoying this part. So we will have fun, I guess, doing that. Okay. So that's these 4. I'm going to put these a little up there. Okay. Phew. Ah. Yeah, I probably do. I put a bunch of 1 microfarad capacitors, but I don't know. The only thing that actually gave it something that worked was using this 100 microfarad up here. For some reason, caused it to be better. But I don't have that many 10 microfarads. Okay, and these are the actual bottom left. Maybe I should put this down here. Oh, hang on, give me 1 second. Sorry, the wind was blowing like crazy. And sounded like something fell on the house. Okay. And then I wanted this to connect here. And just seat it down like this for now. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is put these up here like this. This one. Just because I don't know how to do this any other way. Oh. I don't understand. Maybe. Are these all different sizes? Oh, I think I see. So, hang on. So that's 8 or 1, I guess. Hang on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So are all of these this? 8. It never actually technically worked, so that's why I'm reseating just these cables. I mean, it's only 16, so it hasn't actually technically worked. And whenever I moved them a little bit, it did something sort of correct. I don't know. I don't really know what to do. I'm just doing my best. The person that I was kind of going off of used a MUX, a multiplexer, to go between all of their, like, whenever I was trying to, like, explore the ideas, they used a multiplexer to go between all the data pins on their RAM or ROM. I guess in this case I'm using ROM just to make sure it works. And whenever they were going between their data pins, they used a MUX 16 to basically shift between each of the things. But that sounded very sounded more complicated, I guess, than it needed to be, because they were like, well, I had to do gray code and like, and I was like, they were like, I had to convert some things to gray code and make things work. And I was like, I think that's a little more complicated than it needs to be, but maybe my shift registers are more complicated than it needs to be. I don't really know. I'm just trying to make sure that it all works. Okay. Now I don't understand. Might have. There we go. I think I just had something wrong. Okay. So this feeds here. I think. And then this. Golly. I'm so confused on how I did this the first time. Okay. I assume I used large cables the first time. Something like this. Okay. Yeah, that does not feel right. Hey, what's going on? My access time on the ROM isn't very fast, but I'm accessing it 16 times. Hang on, wait. I'm only reading it once every 16 pixels, and it's clocked at 20 megahertz, but every 16 pixels it's reading. So I'm reading it at like, hang on, around like 1.5 megahertz or something, and I'm using a hang on, AT28 C256 datasheet, 150 nanoseconds. So in my understanding, this should be fine because I'm only reading it once every 16 pulses of the 20 megahertz. So if we just round it up, you could say that we're reading it every 2 megahertz, and that should be plenty of time for this to get the data. If that makes sense. So, I think we're fine. But, of course, you never really know in the grand scheme of things. Hey, Oxlin, how's it going? Okay. Oh, need my data sheet. There we are. Something still feels wrong with this. I'm not going backwards, am I? Because these... Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Five. Nope, wrong side. Well, something feels wrong with this one. Why is this so much? Oh, I think I see what I did wrong. I have them in the wrong order. And I think this one is probably meant for the very first spot here. I think that one's right. Being placed there. Okay. Then looking at these, my guess is this one's probably next. Or not. Maybe it's this one. There's a chance my power goes out. Guys, only warning you. There's a potential tornado warning. And the winds are, like, very fast right now. So if I just randomly go offline, that's what happened. Tornado or bad winds. Fire twice, smoke once. Okay. So confused. What am I doing? I feel like none of these cables work for this. Try this one. Okay. See, that one works. Unless if I'm doing this completely back. Oh, I am. That's why this is so messed up. Okay. That explains everything. Okay. I've had them going backwards. I do this all the time. Okay. So I assume with this one being the longest pin, that goes A. This one being the second longest, this goes B. Oh, this is actually probably the longest. Oh well. And then this one looks third longest. So we'll go here. Plug that into here. And then this one plugs in here. I'll just plug it here for fun. Hey, thank you, Bash. I just love learning. I mean, I'm kind of, you can say a noob. I don't know. I'm very new to this kind of stuff. So I really like working on this kind of stuff. But yet again, I always run into problems left and right because I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm just like, what's a good analogy I can use? It's like imposter syndrome, I guess you could say. I definitely don't feel like I belong. And then I'm just doing this thing. What's the longest cable? Oh, that's probably what this cable's for. And I bet one of the longer-ish cables, like this one, was probably to combat this, maybe. Because I used a... Okay, let's go. Place this one here. That's the only bad part about this circuit is can't really see a whole lot of what's going on because there's so much wire overlap. I guess so. I guess that is totally true. I mean, I think it's a blast, and it's like, I understand that this is not something I should do for work, because, I mean, like, I think if YouTube worked out and everything, that's fine, because it's like a passion project. It's not something that, like, if I ended up ever making enough to make YouTube a living, which I'm not counting on it, but that's okay, I assume. But it's I've been informed that making something that you're really passionate about, making it your living, turns it into your enemy. And I think I understand that, because this is a very difficult, not difficult, I mean, it is difficult. Everything can have its difficulties, I should say. Sorry, I'm looking for the longest. How did I do this? Or is it this way? Oh, I see. I've had it backwards this whole time. Doing this for a living at like a real company sounds difficult, but also sounds like it takes the fun away, because you're not working on something that you actually might want to work on. Maybe if it's your own startup and you decided that's like what you want to do, that's probably fine, I'm sure. But yeah, I've came to terms that even if I got really good at making circuits, I definitely shouldn't actually get a job doing it, unless it is, like I said, make enough from like YouTube or whatever, which, yet again, not necessarily counting on, just stating. Yeah, I guess so. Ah, shoot. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. I might have to take shelter here in a little bit, guys. Hopefully this tornado doesn't get me. It sounds like stuff is falling and hitting my window and like craziness. There's like branches and twigs all over in the yard. I'll let you guys know if I hear the sirens. Hopefully I can hear the sirens. I actually worry about that. Okay, all those wires are reseated. This probably didn't fix a thing. But luckily, so I was designing this, like I was going through and I was thinking through all of the, how do you want to say, the logic with how this timing stuff works. And I had it going into, I was like not clock and pulse, and not clock and pulse, and not, I don't remember, whatever it was, not this 15-bit thing or 16 bits, every 16 bits. And then at the end, I had a not, I knotted that output, and then I realized that was just an OR gate. So I love when that happens. Just throw a random there. Why not? Okay. That's connected. Let's connect this to power and ground. VCC, ground. Oh, he's a little far. Okay. Let's actually just connect this up to something totally random. So like all of these pins, I don't actually need this to test this circuit. I can just plug these into a bunch of grounds and positive and see if this replicates this series on the screen. So what do I do for a living? That's a great question. I am a teacher. I'm a high school teacher. I teach programming at a high school. That's pretty much it. Sorry. I'm scrolling up through the chat because I didn't get to see everything whenever I was seating some wires. Get a sponsor to send you a scope. I would love to do that, but I don't think a whole lot of sponsors are looking to give me a scope. I don't think I'm cool. So, cool enough for that. Yes, I am a high school teacher. I teach software engineering to all grade levels in high school. Python, C#, C. I refuse to teach Java. Even if it becomes the curriculum, I'm quitting. I despise Java with every bone in my body. It's a horrendous language for no reason. Okay. Gonna give that. So the pattern goes 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay. We'll be able to eliminate whether or not this ROM chip is a problem. Okay. Let's see if this works now. Oh, I always do this backwards because I keep thinking this goes somewhere else. Okay. Gotta move this over here. Plenty of space. Looks good. Looks good. Turn on the monitor. I'll let you guys know if it works. If it doesn't work, then I will. If it works, I'll show you. If it doesn't work, I'll just let you know what's going on. Okay. Monitor's turning on. Well, I'm not seeing anything. Hang on. What did I do different? Suppose I moved that cable, but that shouldn't be a problem. Let's try taking that off, maybe. I have no output right now if you guys are curious as to what I'm seeing. No output at all. Can I get any sort of color to show up? No blue? Okay. Intriguing. Let's restart the circuit. Okay, now it's not even turning on at all. Okay, try this one more time. Okay, what happens if I just unplug all of these? Are these causing any issues whatsoever? What if I plug this cable all the way over here? Do I get any data at all? Nothing. What if I plug blue into this one? This one. Okay, I'm not getting any output on the monitor at all. Maybe that was a problem. Maybe that's a problem. No blue. No greens. Weird. Well, this circuit's not going too hot. Does anybody have any ideas? My next idea. I mean, yeah, I wish I had an oscilloscope. I'd love to be able to read what's going on, see if there's any sort of like noise problem. So that's fine. I mean, sort of. I mean, I know the H and V pulses, they work because I've made a... I mean, obviously I don't know how stable they are, and I guess that's part of the problem, but I kind of made a mini oscilloscope, more of a pulser with an Arduino Mega that I had, and I was pulsing everything, and it worked fine. Like, I had some LEDs hooked up to it. I wasn't reading the output and looking at it through this, but I was shooting input. Like, I was pulsing this as if this was a clock, and I'd shoot through like 120 pulses, and then it'd be like, okay, this LED turns on. Then I'd shoot another 40, and then it would turn off, and it was very reliable. But I guess I don't know necessarily if something else is a problem. Yeah, I was worried about that. Could that be giving me issues? Is it my... Gosh, I don't even know why the blue's not working anymore. Like, I'd be able to plug this in, the red pin, into something, one of my timings, and it used to show. Oh. Okay. Well, it was showing for a second. Okay, so... so bad. I have data showing up on the monitor. Some red. Well, I did. Goodness gracious, this is difficult. Hope I didn't just fry something. I don't think so. I accidentally fried a chip a little bit ago. That was crappy. Let's try just getting rid of that for a moment. Seeing if that lightens up any problems. No, I'm not getting any input anymore. Yeah, I'm like... something's going wrong. Whoa. That's some crazy wind. I just think I'm having a current problem. I just don't think this breadboard can, or this little power supply is providing enough current. Maybe I need a better USB cable too. Oh, okay. See, it only lasts for a few seconds. So it's like I can get a picture to pop up on the monitor for just a few seconds and then it goes away. And I genuinely believe it's a current problem. Let's move this to somewhere maybe beneficial. Maybe like right there. I had another one. Yeah, let's move this back down here. Maybe this. It's like all fine and dandy. If I unplug that. Ooh. Now nothing's showing up. Yeah, I'm not getting any output on the monitor. Like, it's not waking up whenever I have this capacitor. But then, when I don't have this plugged in, the monitor wakes up. Then I could display color for a fraction of a second. And then it like goes back out. How do I solve this current issue? I have an idea. If I do not use the capacitor at all, I think I run into instability issues. Like it'll pop up for a few seconds and then go back out. And then it'll go back in and then it'll go back out. And usually with the capacitor, I can get it to last a little bit longer. But right now, here, let me restart the board one more time. I'll fully unplug it as well. Now that this has solved that many issues. Can you attempt 1.5 direct? Sure. Can somebody tell me the exact resistors I need to get that 1.5? Or I don't know why I said the exact, because I think you can use multiple. Yes, I definitely need to do that. Now that's something I don't really understand how to do though. I do not have a 680k resistor. Hang on. I have some really odd resistor combinations in a box somewhere. Give me one moment. This box. Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, I didn't really think about that. Yeah, I mean, I guess I do have a potentiometer. You still have to use another resistor with a potentiometer, right? I have a 10k potentiometer. Where would that be? Oh, it's over here. It's a bad one, but I think it will do the job. Okay. Okay, let's get rid of all of this. And this is gonna be a little messy. Let's go. Try to get this as close as possible to that as I can. That's still not long enough. Okay, I'll just swap it on the other side. Okay, there's that. Okay, and then this here. I'm just gonna use that pin there. This here, I know they're both red. Please forgive me. Okay. And then I'm gonna use this guy. Gonna use my clamps. Okay. Okay. Black goes. I'll just connect that here. And then the red one. Connect that to the orange pin. I'll plug that in here. Okay. 1.4. Let's see. We got 1.4 volts. Let's instead plug that into there. Well, oh, we had something on the screen for a second. Okay, hang on. Let's try putting this back up here. Okay. It's not working the best. Currently, we are... Hang on. Try this one more time. I'm not getting any sort of output. I'll try a more stable wire. Hmm. It's still very not stable. And maybe that's partially due to how I have it connected up. Okay. I'm going to bring this back over here. Okay. Yes. That's what I am anticipating. I am going to check the voltage because I was messing around with that one more time. So I like to make sure the voltage and everything is still correct. And the timing should be correct because it works occasionally. And then it just doesn't. And I think that's just due to a lack of current. Let's use this for ground. Okay. That should be good. 1.4 volts. I guess it could be. Okay. We have monitor is on. I'm going to use one of these really long cables to hopefully connect the red to the red. Here. Please be long enough. Son of a gun. Still isn't working. Try turning it off. Turning it back on. Try red here. Yeah, I don't know. This used to work better. And I think ever since I added these chips here, everything's kind of gotten worse. So I don't even know if it's my monitor failing to sync. I just think I don't have enough current and I do not have... I'm probably going to have to take the plunge and buy a variable DC power thing or whatever. Power supply. Variable power supply. That's what it's called. Darn. I can also try powering it partially with this too. Seeing if I have power from 2 different angles. Because this also gives off 5 volts. I can use this power supply and this power supply. And see if this helps. Well, I mean, like I have, what do you mean use the other power supply one? Because I have this one. And I was just going to connect both of these up to this and seeing if this is helpful. Like connecting the ground and 5 volts from this guy. Yeah, no, that didn't work. What do you mean just use the bigger one? The 18 amp. I have to do a lot of work to get that. Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, here's the other problem I have with regards to the bigger power supply. I am worried that I don't have any cables that are fat enough to handle the 18 amps. Like, these are only... I think these are 22 gauge wires, and these are the fattest I have. And I worry that they won't be good enough to take from here, being at 18 amps. And then I'll have to find a power cable to plug these into. So I'm just all around a little scared. You understand where I'm coming from. But obviously I do have a voltage adjuster knob. I just don't know if that's going to help anything in the long run. You think these are going to not catch on fire on the DC side? You're sure I will not be pulling all 18 amps? Okay. Okay. I would like to try it on a circuit that I didn't work really hard on. First, I need to find a power cable, so give me 1 moment. Because I don't have a power cable that will fit. Obviously, I'll have to rip apart a power cable to get that to work. Okay, I found a power cable. I think he will do. This will hurt my soul a little bit because sheesh. Power cable's huge. Okay. You guys think I should use this power cable? I think I should, but he's a biggin. He's a chonker. For this guy, would you say that's appropriate? This was the one I was probably going to use anyway. Okay. Oh, no. I need bigger wire cutters. You guys see anything wrong with this before I cut it? Okay, Thomas. You probably won't have to do that, but I like your confidence. Okie dokie. As long as it doesn't short, you should be fine. That's what I'm worried about. I don't want to fire. How can I... Is it just a fuse? Is that my only solution? Is using a fuse to make sure something doesn't short? I know. Well, I've already burnt a chip. I've burnt LEDs and they're nothing, but it's not hard to actually burn an LED. Or short an LED, I guess, if you want to say. But I might have some fuses. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to cut that. I do not have the proper wire cutters for this. I mean, they're... I don't know. I've never used a fuse. So I don't really know. Like I said, I'm not... We discussed this earlier. About how the... Sorry, I'm trying to cut this. About how I am all self-taught. And I really don't want to do something bad. So, this is something I don't understand, is how exactly would a fuse in here solve... Like, how does it know it's drawing too much from here? Like, how would the fuse in here pop before it pops in here? Like, that's what I don't understand. I mean, that'd be helpful. I just don't know how to do these things properly. So someone to walk me through would be awesome. I just didn't do a lot of Googling before I went into this. Today in particular. I've done a lot of Googling, that's for sure. Just not a whole lot of Googling for this very specific thing. And bigger duty wire cutters would have definitely been helpful. Heavier duty. I don't know. I said better duty. Oh, but like, I don't want to draw more than like X amount of amps here. So like, because like that will cause a lot of issues. So like, is that where I use a fuse rated for X amount of amps or something like that? Put your meter into amps mode. DC amp mode set. Obviously, I'll have to kind of angle this so you guys can see it. Put your meter in amps mode, then put the pad, these guys, in line with power into the circuit. So I need to go. We'll just do one side. So like here should be fine. Like placing. Does this look correct? I have. See, that just doesn't look right. 0.002 amps. So, like, I have it going here. This is my current going into the circuit. But I'm only getting... Or do I need to go here? Oh, okay. I see what you mean. I can do that this way. I have... Where are they? These guys. We'll do white for 5 volts. Okay. This is the full circuit. This is everything. Like it's straight from the power supply. Feed the power into the negative LED, on the meter, red to the power on the board. Guys, you're totally right. I haven't had this in amps mode the entire time. Says it's reading 0.3 amps. So what you said is this plug into this, and then this to go here. Wait, that's not right. I don't know. What am I doing? What is this rated for? Well, I'm gonna have to look at the data sheet for this because I cannot find it. Ah. Goodness gracious. Where is it? Okay. Yep, I just totally forgot to swap this over. So yeah, 300 milliamps. Pretty much. So I feel like 300 milliamps is probably not enough to power this thing. But I need to Google still to make sure this is indeed. Also need to make sure my phone's plugged in. That's going to die soon. Okay. Let's see. Don't need that anymore. Oh, here it is. This is the Elegoo. It said its maximum is 700 milliamps, but this thing's really old. It's kind of beaten up. It's burning up in several places. So, here's my other idea. I think I have a few spares. Also, the DC, this does not output 5 anymore. Like, if I plug anything into this, it no longer goes 5 volts. It's like somewhere between like 3 volts. Even if I change these around to be 3 volts or 5 volts, it will always be 3. If I go through the little DC one there. So I have to go through USB. So maybe, and it wasn't like my DC one wasn't rated correctly. Like everything, it should have worked. So okay, let's try a new one because I bought a few online. And let's see if this guy does any better. Plug this into here. Plug this there. And that here. Okay. Let's try it with the new one. Make sure this actually works fine. Looks like it. Okay. Well, I'm not seeing any changes. Ah, shoot. Really hoping that would work. Maybe. Yeah, man, I don't know. It could be 100 different things. It could be it's not getting enough power. Could be... Yeah, could be that it's not getting enough power. It could be that... Could be the breadboards I'm using. All the connections could be just wrong. Could be so many different things. But Yet again. Oh, wrong one. Where was my really long wire that I was using earlier? No, that's not really, really long. It was like a really long one. Yeah, that won't reach. I'm gonna have to make a new one. Okay, we'll do this. Here, all the way there. See if that works. Yeah, I definitely need a scope, an oscilloscope, but I don't know. I just don't know. I don't have the funds for a good one. One that would actually be useful. Yeah, this is not working. Shoot. Can't get any of the colors to pop up. Trying to think if I have a better cable or something that can possibly help my circuit get somewhere better. Because, how about this? See, that's just a USB-C. This doesn't accept USB-C. But, no, probably not. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna have to walk away for a few minutes to see if I can find a USB cable on both ends. Hopefully, I will come back with something. Okay, well, no luck with the USB cable. Wait, is this one? Oh, come on. Oh, what's going on here? Nope, that's not. Well, I might have to purchase some things. So, take a listen. Yeah, I saw that. I saw your DM. Ah, shoot. Yeah, I don't know necessarily how to progress with this. I want to make sure I have enough power, and I'm curious if this is not pulling its weight. How much are these rated for? Yeah, this should be enough. Let's try this. Oh, I don't have an easy way to plug this in. Okay, hang on. Let's go here. Try this. Let's check and see if our values are good. See, I don't understand. Oh. The DC needs to be a 7 to 10 volt and I only have a 5 volt. Dang. Do I have any of these but better? Higher rated. I didn't realize that this needed to be a 7 to 10 volt. Yeah, I'm just running into problems all around, I guess. I wonder if this would help. No, probably not. Okay. Well, I think for now, I may stop the stream for a bit. Maybe recoup. Is anybody interested in potentially watching a stream a little bit later today? If I can see if I can order something or figure something out later. Sound good? We like that. Yes, no. Because this stream so far has been kind of a fail. Maybe. Just because I just need to do some research. I need to figure out what's going on. I need to figure out. Okay, I will listen to that song. I just need to see. I don't know. See if I have some fuses. Maybe I can try and get this guy working up. But other than that, hopefully, it should be all good. But I need to see what I have. And hopefully, we'll be back and everything's good. So, hope you guys enjoyed the stream for as long as it was. I know it was kind of boring. I didn't actually get to do anything, but I think it should be fun. And then I'll regroup with everybody and hopefully everything works out. So, alrighty guys. I'll see you guys in the next